I was doing it all wrong until I figured out what was missing. And once I did, I had my first $100,000 manifested day and also won several contests thereafter using the same thing. Now I'm going to show you exactly what most people are doing mistakes-wise and exactly what to do to change it. And by the end of this video, you'll have the clarity needed to change the way you've been using law of attraction to create bigger and better results. So let's get started here. There's an idea called the tipping point, and for so many years I just had no level of awareness to understand what this even meant or what this idea even was. This is a simple balance scale. You know, like those old balance scales they used to use that one weighs down and you can kind of balance and understand the weight of different objects. That's kind of what we're doing here in a simple drawing framework. This left side is most of the tipping point, or the weight, is drawn on the lack. So most people are in this space here. Major amount of weight on the lack and just a little bit on the abundance side. Now I'm going to show you exactly why this is so important and really what's going on here. On this other side is the tipping point of abundance. There's more emphasis and focus and energy on abundance. Therefore, the weight it pulls down is much higher. Now, when it comes to this tipping point, most people are using the law of attraction in the incorrect way, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to get things through the law of attraction. They've heard things like law of attraction is like attracts like, visualize, do your gratitude journaling, script out what you want, think about what you want all day long, have a goal card, right? All these things, and they're trying to get things. They're trying to make things happen. They're trying to get the income. They're trying to manifest a soulmate. They're trying to manifest career success. They're trying to constantly get things into their physical life to help them make them feel better, live a more enjoyable life, etc. The reason why that's an incorrect way of actually utilizing the law of attraction is because the law of attraction is not here to get things actually. What it's here to do is help you become a higher version of you, and the icing on the cake is a result that comes in instead. So here's what most people are doing. Okay, they keep dropping more and more energy into this lack box by using the law of attraction incorrectly. Here's how. They think about what they want, but they feel antagonistic thoughts. I want more money. I don't feel abundant right now. I really do want that thing, but I'm feeling doubtful about my situation. So they have feelings, they have doubts, they have worries, they have all these different things. And every day they're dropping more energy and more weight into this lackful side. Now, a lot of people studying personal development videos, Think and Grow Rich, Power of Subconscious Mind, all the greats out there, Bob Proctor, all the greats, they're studying and they're starting to put in a little bit more into the abundance box over here, okay? So they watch a video, they start realizing, wow, this is really good stuff. And they're like, I got the secret to money. I'm starting to feel a little bit better about money just by knowing what money is. Money's an energy, it's a tool, etc. Right? And maybe they do some affirmations that day and they actually got excited. They feel a little bit different. And maybe they're taking some actions. So this box is starting to gain a little bit more energy overall. But here's what happens that they don't realize with this tipping point. This is starting to tip a little bit towards the abundance side. You see this? So I've added more weight over here. Maybe I stopped for the day over here. So this is my normal route, but less energy is going here. More energy is going into my abundance mindset. And this scale is starting to tip. It's going this way. Okay. So imagine that the scale is not like that, but it's starting to tip a little differently. It's starting to tip a little bit towards the abundance side. What happens is, as they are tipping that scale, they don't see a result. They don't see anything happening. So they go right back to adding more and more junk into their lack mindset, and then it will go back to this same tipping scale, or sometimes even worse, and it will go this way, right? Because they're not believing what's going on. So imagine one day they've done their affirmations, visualization, gratitude, they have their goal card, they're listening into certain things, they're starting to get some progress going internally, but then they're having lots of doubts and worries and fears and concerns and different things. So at one point they were starting to balance it on the abundance side, but boom, they went right back or worse at the night's end because, oh my God, nothing happened. I visualized having an extra $10,000 in my bank account, and I really felt it this morning. And by the end of the night, I just where's the money? I don't see it. God, universe, source, what's happening here? I thought that's all you had to do is think about the money and feel it and everything else, right? They're doing this every single day for months or years that they've been studying personal development. They put a little bit into this abundant box, but there's so much energy and so much weight on this lack side that they are waiting to see something happen, and they get a little bit of progress and go back. A little bit of progress, go back. They're using the law of attraction in a way to try and get things to make themselves feel happier, feel better, feel more at peace, feel more abundant. Once I have the money, I'll finally feel spectacular. I'll feel great. I'll feel amazing overall. Since they're utilizing it that way, they get stuck in this trap, and no matter how much more they study, no matter how many more YouTube videos, no matter how many more audiobooks, no matter how many more self-help books, they constantly are wobbling on this. Anybody ever been there? If you are or have ever been there, throw in the comments to kind of relate to our manifestation family here. And thank you, by the way, for being a part of our manifestation family here on the tribe, on this channel, as we continue to connect you with the greatest like-minded people on the planet right here in our manifestation family. So our manifestation family, you included, as we are learning this tipping point, here's the trick to this. Here's what set me off to get that $100,000. It was $120,000 in one day, manifested in, cash collected. And it was all because this idea of what happened. We add in abundant thoughts, thinking better about whatever it is. And this can be for any intention. It doesn't have to be about money, but on this channel, we like to talk about money because money is a great tool. And I want you to have so much more money. I want you to have so much more money. In fact, you deserve it. You're worthy of it. And that's not even a question because money is just an energy and a tool. So it's not even about worthiness and deservingness. It's just a tool that magnifies who you are. And if you're on this channel, I'm going to assume that you're a great person. Not everyone's a great person, but if you're viewing this channel, bettering yourself, you're probably a great person. You have a lot of light within you. You're trying to improve yourself. You're trying to improve your family scenario. I'm going to just suggest that you are probably a really great person, okay? It's going to magnify more of you. So if you're a great person, but you have no money, you're just a really great person with no money. But if you have a lot of money, you're a really great person with a lot of money. You can do a lot more good. You can give a lot more out to the world because you're very wealthy, very rich, very abundant, right? So I want you to have a lot more money, way more than you think you should be having right now, way more. So let's talk about it. So maybe you're having lots of thoughts about money and good things happening and miracles and flow. You're doing your study. You're here on the channel. You're applying it. You're applying all the exercises. You're doing all the good stuff. Maybe at some points you do have some doubts, worries, concerns. That's fine, by the way. Law of attraction does not act against you because you had one doubt today. It doesn't act against you because you said the word debt. It doesn't act against you because you were overwhelmed today. That's BS. We'll talk about in another video, but you can actually be unhappy and manifest millions of dollars. Okay? So we'll talk about that more, but maybe you do have a couple of doubts, concerns, some overthinking. That's fine. It's honestly fine. Okay? As long as you are more of your day building this kind of consciousness. That's all it is. The tipping point. Here's the real trick to this. Here's why most people are using law of attraction so abnormal to what it could be. You actually want to, in order to get to this tipping point, you are not concerned at all with keeping financial score or keeping score of miracles that are going to happen in your life or keeping score if something's happening or keeping score if something's changing. You actually don't keep score at all, and you don't even care if things are changing because here's the levels. Level 1 is your thoughts will start to change. I've got these acrylic markers. Sometimes they get a little low. This level 1 here is you have to be only concerned with your thoughts changing. So if you do an exercise, you do your gratitude journal, you visualize whatever exercise, there's millions of them out there. You do the actual exercise and you're like, I'm noticing, I'm thinking differently in this moment. My mind has different images in it. I'm thinking differently. That's part of the tipping point that you're only concerned about that. I don't care if money actually changes in my life. I just care that I'm having better, improved thoughts about money. The second thing that's going to happen is thoughts induce feelings. So you are going to start to have more improved feelings or vibrations around money. And you're only concerned with that. If you're only concerned with those two things, and then the third, your actual actions and behaviors being better, this tipping point, this balance beam will start to go from here and will start to tip to you seeing more abundance in your world. But here's the thing. It's going to take a bit of time for you to actually see abundance in your physical reality, levels 4 and 5. So you don't care about law of attraction giving you things. You don't care about using law of attraction to get things. You're using law of attraction to become your highest level identity and awakening. That's what you're utilizing it for. And if that is so, you only care about the thoughts, feelings, and actions you do because that's who you are. It's a conglomerate of what you think, what you feel, and what your actions are. That's what your identity is, what your self-image is. In fact, your higher self doesn't care at all how much money you accumulate in this life. It doesn't care. It doesn't care how many material items you get. It doesn't care about those things. It cares about who you became in this lifetime. That's all that matters. That includes your experiences, the things you work through, the growth you have, the joy you're cultivating in this life. But it's a conglomerate of your thoughts, feelings, and actions. So if that's the objective with the law of attraction, to get your identity to fuse here, you are off to the races and this thing will tip, and it will tip so fast. I remember feeling the embodiment of prosperity consciousness in my body before that $100,000 day actually happened for me. I didn't know $100,000 was going to be manifested in a day. That's the thing. I didn't know. I didn't see the result for at least 30 days. I didn't know. I didn't know that was going to happen. I had no evidence that that was going to happen. I had no idea. But since I was focused on using the law of attraction, changing my thoughts, feelings, and actions, changing who I was embodying, the result happened later on. It wasn't exactly 30 days. I actually don't know how many days it was exactly. I didn't write down, here's the date when I started to embody the tipping point more and when the money came in, but it was approximately 30 days. It was within that ballpark, okay? What happened was a series of events unfolded, and I was at the right time, at the right place, things just moving forward at a fantastic level. And I started to see some progress. It wasn't even a result, but I started to see some progress. Serendipitous things happening. Wow, I got a lot of people saying this, or I had this strange thing happen. That doesn't usually happen. Or I had this mystical kind of, wow, that was at the right time, at the right place, right kind of idea. And then level 5 is I saw the result match my tipping point here. Okay? So I didn't see and I didn't care about a result, progress or result. I didn't care. But I was so concerned with my identity that the tipping point was there. I felt the thoughts, feelings, and actions different. And then the progress and results started to show up. Most people studying manifestation law of attraction, they can't get over this. They can't get over this threshold needed to finally see a result. It's kind of like learning a new language, or learning a new sport, or learning a new dance, or learning how to bake, or learning how to cook, right? Very first time you're a beginner. And you study how to do whatever it is for like 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, right? But then you're like, I'm terrible at this. And I have so many doubts and concerns and fears that you just stop doing it and you take a break for a week. And then a week comes around and you're like really inspired again and you're going to jump back into it. So then you study for one more day and then you're out of it for 2 more weeks. And then you study, oh, wow, I want to get back into this. And then you study it again for a day and then you're out of it for 2 weeks again or a week, right? How much are you going to actually tip the scale to being fluent in the language, being good at the sport or the skill, being good at the baking, being good at cooking, whatever it is that you're wanting to learn because it's fun, it's a passion or something you want to do? You're not going to get very good at all because there's no tipping point. There's not enough energy given to the thing to actually start seeing the progress happen. It's like planting a tree, planting a flower. What if I planted the flower today and by tonight I'm like, where is it? I planted the seed, where's the flower? That would be ridiculous, right? You need to water it, you need to give it sunlight maybe, you need to whatever it is. And then eventually give enough energy, give it enough time, give it enough power, it'll sprout. It'll come about. But what if tonight you're like, this is bogus. You take a shovel and you rip up the seed and you throw it in the woods. And then the next day you're like, I'll plant a bush instead. That's going to be much better. So you plant a bush, but it's just the seed part. It's not the actual bush, so you don't see anything yet. And then you water it and everything. But then the next day you're like, where's the bush? I don't see it. I don't see it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? You take a shovel and you whip it into the woods. Okay? And then you're like, this stuff's bogus. This is ridiculous, right? And then they're like, I'm going to plant a tree instead. And they get seeds for the tree. And it's not like a sapling tree. It's just starting from scratch, putting the seeds in the soil, watering. And they're like, you know what? I'll give it 3 days. I'll give it 3 days to see where we're at. Sunny days, watering it, giving it some nutrients. And then 3 days comes around and you're like, where's the tree? This is unbelievable. The flower didn't grow. The bush didn't grow. The tree didn't grow. This is ridiculous. Takes it with a shovel and throws it in the woods. You would call that person either number one, they really don't know what's going on in this world, or number two, you call them insane because their thoughts are constantly in this mix of emotions that logic has no understanding in that realm, and they're not open to learning on what's going on, and they keep just quitting. Yeah? That person, you're not probably that person. You get the idea of flower needs time to germinate, gestation period for it to actually plant in soil and then sprout. Yeah? Bush, tree, all of it. The same thing goes with abundance. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. We have to give it enough time and energy to actually finally flip the scale. We have to give it enough time and energy with the awareness and focus that I don't care about the result. I don't care about progress. I don't care about any of that. I just want to see how good my thoughts, feelings, and actions can get. And if that's your motivation, this tipping point you'll start to use the law of attraction in such an empowering way. It'll be amazing for you. Really, really great. Scott Haug signing off here. I hope this was of huge value to you. And if you aren't already, be a part of our manifestation family. I'd love to see you here on the channel. So please do subscribe if you haven't already. And then links in the description below for our various courses, group coaching, and one-on-one mentorship. So if you're ready to help us help you tip your scale, because sometimes it's easier with help, sometimes it's easier with accountability, sometimes it's easier having a coach and mentor by your side to make sure we're checking in, we're doing the right moves, we're doing the right things, and getting customized, personalized guidance. Make sure you join in some of our courses and programs, or at least look into getting some information about it and booking a call with us so we can talk about it more and answer any questions you might have. All those links are in the description below. Give it a shot, give it enough time, plant your abundance, allow it to sprout, give enough energy, and we'll see you over in the next video.